everybody.
Welcome to the Reconstructing History podcast.
My name is Bob.
And my name is Cass.
And we're here to talk to you about stuff.
Yeah, stuff.
What are we talking about today?
Stuff, interestingly, is the Dutch word for fabric.
Wow. Nerd.
I was so happy when I found that out because I say stuff all the time and my life is surrounded by fabric, so stuff. It's my new favorite word, stuff.
As usual, we are in the car driving through the Dutch countryside.
It is a beautiful sunny day in Noord-Brabant.
And we figured we'd bring you along for the ride.
Yes.
And today, talk about
stuff.
Loungewear.
Loungewear. Yes. We have been getting questions.
The wrong lane. Jesus.
Oh, get in the right lane.
Left lane. Actually.
Left lane. Questions, comments, suggestions from you guys. You guyses.
Hey, you guys.
Use. Y'all. I'm running through all the plural yous.
Wow. Jens.
Yuli. I don't know. About, a lot of people are working from home now.
Yeah.
Working from home because of lockdown, or their jobs have switched to working from home.
Yeah, if not the whole time.
Yeah, partially.
At least partially, a few days a week.
And I am someone who was passionately anti-sweats. I have been against sweatpants and sweatshirts and sweat ensembles.
Wow.
Since
sweat ensemble.
Oh God, I hate sweats. I really hate sweats.
How about tracksuits?
I hate tracksuits too.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Essex girls.
Ooh, shots fired.
Yep.
Shots fired.
Yep. No,
wow.
I just dislike them. I think they're crap and polyester and shit. Just.
Yeah.
And yeah. So there was a tag on our website that is no sweats. And if you click the no sweats tag on our website, all of our lounging outfits will come up. Lounging pajamas, robes, house coats, house dresses, this kind of stuff. And this is stuff, hostess gowns, as they call them. Oh.
We were driving past a pig farm.
Yes, and it smells like a pig farm. Did you turn the heat off?
Yeah, because it's very warm in here.
Oh, now my ears are cold.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, people who are homeschooling their kids, people who are working from home, partially or fully.
What are we talking about when we're talking about loungewear?
Well,
describe it for us.
Okay. In the 1920s, there exploded a trend of pajamas, and pajama comes from a Hindi word, pajama, that refers to pants, trouserings. Oh,
Afghan hounds.
Afghan hounds. I've never seen Afghan hounds here before. There were 2 Afghan hounds on the feed spot, on the bicycle path. Wow. Easily distracted.
Butterflies.
No, Afghan hounds. So in the 20s, just about the same time when women started radically wearing men's trousers. And
gasp.
Yeah, and
you can tell they have legs.
Yeah, Coco Chanel stole her boyfriend's trousers and went, well, this is a thing. I'm going to do this. And then, in the 30s, Marlene Dietrich and in the 40s, Katharine Hepburn followed suit and said, I don't like skirts. I'm going to wear these things. They're more comfortable. And the whole trend for women wearing menswear happened. Started out in the 20s, the one place where women were willing to wear pants, trousers, when they wouldn't have done so in society necessarily, was at the beach.
Yeah.
And these big, voluminous beach pajamas, big, wide-legged palazzos, were something that you wore over your swimsuit on the beach, or just off the beach. And so in the French
Forgive
Riviera.
the noise, friends.
Yeah, we're on cobbles.
We're on cobbles. I'm about to not get on. I'm going to get away from the cobbles.
Cute little Casterin.
Casterin is such a lovely little village.
But we're on cobbles.
Yeah, that's why it's a lovely little village.
Yeah,
it's got cobbles and stuff.
You just...
I'm going to
You're just going to
reverse
drive
direction.
Leave Casterin. Oh God, I thought that was a guy on the house. It's a stuffed...
Oh, it's a guy like hanging the Christmas lights.
Yeah, stuffed clothing
ladder.
like he fell off the ladder.
Clever.
Yep. And this is going to be the Casterin creche.
I wonder if we've got sheep in here, so yet.
I don't know.
Anyhow.
So these beach pajamas, and beach pajamas are really, really big and voluminous and everything.
Like you can fit an entire person in one leg.
Yeah, and on the French Riviera, these were incredibly popular, incredibly stylish, and that's where things started. But people who were on the Riviera, visiting, posh people who were visiting the Riviera, started wearing these things elsewhere.
Right.
And a less voluminous, more easily handled, shall we say, version appeared. And they called it lounging pajamas. And by the 1930s, lounging pajamas were a real thing. And lounging pajamas aren't something you sleep in. They're something you lounge about the house in.
Right.
And they're wide-legged trousers, but not super wide-legged, but wide-ish-legged trousers.
So loosely fitting,
usually with a side zipper waist, or also could be an elastic waist or a drawstring.
Roomy,
but nicely fitted. I mean, wonderful pictures of women trotting down the boardwalk in beach pajamas, and you could see their bums, their shapely bums. And they're the Afghan hounds again. Oh, they're so happy.
Up for a trot.
Happy Afghan hounds. Shaggy Afghan hounds. So lounging pajamas aren't something you sleep in. Although, pajamas were becoming a thing to sleep in as well. Women were starting to wear men's pajamas. But when women are wearing men's pajamas, they're wearing men's look pajamas, they look like men's pajamas. Matter of fact, they probably were men's pajamas, just in a smaller size. Or not. Same size. So lounging pajamas, lounging pajamas are kind of the earliest iteration of loungewear. And tops, you could have tops with buttons or ties, or tops that pull on over your head and then have a little belt for you to nip in the waist when you have it on. But all very comfortable, all very, I won't say unstructured. They do have some structure, but they're easy to wear. Yeah. And easy to sit around in,
Easy to make.
Easy to
make. Imagine.
Yeah, not hard. And becoming. I mean, that's the thing. What the difference between this and sweats is that they're flattering. They have sleeves that have some style to them, even if they're just
and if you
flouncy.
wanted to, like if warmth is high on your priority list, you could make them from cotton flannel or something like that, I imagine.
Yep, you can make them from fleece if you want them to be very, very warm.
Gee, many crickets,
Yep. There are
scratchy wool blankets.
Historical examples of lounging pajamas made out of wool, because as we all know, wool is not scratchy. Wool is lovely. I have wool wrapped around my neck right now, and it's wonderful. But wool being a little, maybe you don't want to make it out of wool because you have to launder it too carefully. But also
not impossible.
Also see our video on You Don't Need No Stinkin' Dry Cleaners, and it'll show you what to do with your wool, that you don't have to send it to the dry cleaner. So that's lounging pajamas. And then there are also, dressing gowns. I mean, dressing gowns have been around for centuries.
And isn't UK, the British English euphemism for what Americans would call a bathrobe.
Yeah, bathrobe. A
Is
bathrobe.
a dressing gown.
Yeah. But you might not want to sit around all day in a terry cloth bathrobe, something that's intended to soak up the extra water that's on your body when you come out of the bath. But a dressing gown being more like something when you're dry and you're picking out your clothes, or you're doing your hair or your makeup or whatever, that you're wearing something, you're not wearing the clothes that you're going to wear later yet.
And wasn't it a thing we have a pattern, God, I can't remember what number it is, 922? No, that's the smoking jacket.
926 is the men's dressing gown.
Dressing gown. The illustrations for it are, men who are dressed.
Yeah.
Trousers, shoes, shirt.
Well, it comes from the tradition of men, the very 18th century tradition of men wearing a banyan.
Right.
And a banyan was originally a Turkish or other Eastern coat, which is you would call like a kaftan, which is just kind of a T shape with an opening down the front, no real closures. And 18th century men of substance would wear it over their waistcoat and shirt and breeches, just to sit around the house, because you don't want to sit around the house in your frock coat.
You often see them with a cap on because they've taken their wig off.
Yep. So you have a cap and a banyan, and the dressing gown, men's dressing gown, kind of evolved out of that, and women just kind of borrowed, because women have wrappers as well. That a wrapper is a very loosely structured dress that you wear in the house, and 18th century and 19th century women would receive visitors wearing a wrapper, so it's not like being in your skivvies.
Yeah.
Although
naked.
You might have, and often prostitutes would live in their wrappers because they would,
Gee, you think?
Yeah, they would wear their wrappers and receive their customers, and then take them off.
Receive their customers.
Receive.
There's a gentle euphemism if ever I've heard.
I wasn't making a euphemism. I meant, let them into the house, but also.
Yes.
Also. Insert
Bow,
euphemism.
chicka, wow, wow.
Also, yes. But yeah, because wrappers are easy to take on and take off. Very, it's a wrapper. It wraps around you and fastens. A wrapper isn't going to have 60 million buttons on it.
Or laces.
Or anything like that. Or it might have little lace, but a, quick release kind of thing. So there are wrappers and then also dressing gowns for women, but wrappers were more the usual thing than dressing gowns, at least up until the 20th century. And in the 20th century, the women they take over dressing gowns from men, and women start wearing dressing gowns as well, and robes.
Housecoats.
Housecoats.
I remember my grandmother wearing a housecoat. I mean, she had a dress on.
Yeah.
Underneath it.
Yeah.
But when she was in the house, she had a housecoat on.
And something that we forget a lot of times, because sometimes many of you live in a house that dates to the late 19th century or the early 20th century, but your house has been updated, of course, most of you. But central heating was not a thing. Central heating was not common,
right?
If it was available at all, until the mid 20th century,
right?
And so you had don't drive into oncoming traffic, please.
Looking at horses.
Look at horses. Horses. That's the place with all the beautiful horsey things, and I've never seen a single horse.
There's a swan.
Oh no.
Oh, look.
Oh, greyhounds.
Or a lurcher.
No, it's a greyhound. Yeah, I've never seen a horse out there. Yeah. It's a very, very, very posh equestrian farm with lots of paddocks and lots of places to drive, to do carriages, the carriage obstacle course and everything like that. I have never seen a single horse in there because the horses live in
gigs.
Stalls that are nicer than my house. But they're never outside. It's a shame. Most of the time in the Netherlands, people leave their horses outside and they have a little run-in, or some of them don't even have a run-in. It doesn't get that cold here, so you just get really fuzzy horses. And ponies, little tiny ponies whose hair drags on the ground.
It looks like teddy bears.
Yeah, little fuzzy bears. Anyway, lounging pajamas. So housecoats, I was saying about central heating. Yeah, central heating wasn't common if it was available at all. So you had, your kitchen was warm because your stove was in it. You didn't have heating. Why would you have heating in your kitchen? Your stove is there.
Yeah.
And the stove threw all kinds of heat. And maybe you had a fireplace or a little stove in your bedrooms, but you didn't have heat in every room.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember looking at a house the first time I was going to buy a house that the downstairs, and this is a modern house.
Bit of noise. Hang on. There we go.
Downstairs had heat, and upstairs had no ducts or radiators or anything like that. They had little slits in the floor where the heat was supposed to rise up from beneath. So the bedrooms weren't heated on their own. It was downstairs that was heated, which we find kind of strange. Why wouldn't you have a different zone upstairs? But they did. They didn't. They just had, and that's a house in the 21st century that's still like that, because it works. So the idea of somebody wearing a dress and wearing a house coat over their dress, much like the 18th century man wearing a banyan over his, we think you're fully dressed if you have on a waistcoat, over your shirt, but you're not. In a house that doesn't have central heating, you kind of need something else.
Yeah.
And I know, having lived in Japan you have these little call them futon jackets, or little jackets that are they're quilted. They're made out of puffy stuff, like the same material. You buy them in the store where you buy your futon.
Right.
It's like the only clothing that you can buy at a bedding store is a hanten, and the hanten is a little jacket that you put on because Japanese houses don't have central heat. So you put on the hanten, and it keeps you warm. You put it on over your clothes, so it keeps you warm indoors, and it's just comfortable.
It's just layering. It's layering, isn't it?
It is. And so, it's just to understand the historical context of these things. It's that houses didn't have... it's also why, there are so many jokes about long underwear and wearing your woolly underwear, and your woolly underwear scratches and all this kind of stuff. That you see in Woodhouse's books. It's always the joke about the wife or the nurse makes the young man go out. It doesn't. It's spring and you might catch a chill, so wear your long underwear. And we don't even know, like, long underwear. When would we wear long underwear? Well, maybe if you're skiing. When you're skiing, but we don't wear long underwear on a regular day. But that's because our houses are heated a lot more than their houses were heated. They weren't, you weren't heating every room in your house. You were heating the central part of your house. And also, business premises weren't bothering to heat everything perfectly. So that's another thing. Long underwear or union suits are something to keep you warm from underneath, whereas a house coat keeps you warm. And I made up one of our 40s patterns house coat. I made in a kind of fancy brocade. And is Joey about?
Where's Joey?
Where's Joey? There he is.
Joey the Wallaby.
Joey the Wallaby.
In the Netherlands.
In the Netherlands. We don't know.
In a chicken coop.
We don't know why. There are bacteria camels here, so I'm not going to question wallabies.
Nope.
So I made up in this kind of flashy polyester brocade, and I lined it with polar fleece.
Purple polar fleece. And it's fabulous.
Yeah, because I I don't know. I kind of got stuck in the Japanese mindset of, don't overheat the room. So, and I've lived in a lot of old houses. The windows leaked and there was always a draft. So,
Yeah.
and I tend to sit by a window because I like being by a window, and it's often drafty. So I have this, lounging robe basically. That's a 1940s house code.
Mm-hmm.
That I made a size bigger so I could line it with polar fleece. And I just toss it on over whatever I'm wearing. And we also have, they're also in the 50s, a very, very common thing in the 50s. Matter of fact, so common that I remember my mom still had one in the early 70s when I became cognizant. That they're sometimes called hostess gowns, which a hostess gown is just a really elaborate house coat.
Right.
House coat with a little more style and panache that you wear around your house when you're having guests instead of putting on formal wear.
Yeah.
You're having a cocktail party, and so you wear this, basically what is essentially a robe, but is cut
robe
really.
De chambre.
Yeah, robe de chambre. It's which is interesting because the robe de chambre came from the banyan.
Yeah.
A whole thing.
As already elucidated.
As already elucidated. But yeah, I mean, the mantua came from that.
Yeah.
And then became worn outdoors. But this idea of throwing on something over your clothes. But yeah, so the hostess dress, the hostess gown, is a floor-length robe.
Right.
But with elements of fashionable dress. So, the difference between a hostess gown and a gown that you would wear out is really what materials do you make out of.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about how we translate these things into modern use.
Oh, no, I mean, the example that I gave about my house coat that I made with polar fleece in it, because I lived in a drafty old house. If you live in a house that has drafts and you don't want to crank up your heat to combat you don't want to waste heat, or if you just want to be more economical with your heat, you could make one of these robes, or better yet, the hostess gown or the house coat, and line it with polar fleece or make it out of whatever you like, so that it'll keep you warm.
How about for like the lounging pajamas?
Yeah.
You could wear those on a Zoom call.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, some of them, this is why I like them better than sweats. They don't look dressed down necessarily.
Right.
Because even
if you're telecommuting, you could dress in one of these things, or if you're a gentleman, you could wear the 926 men's dressing gown with an ascot, or
922 the smoking jacket with an ascot, or what have you. You can put on a shirt, and a lot of people are putting on a shirt and a tie and not wearing pants.
But that's chilly.
Yeah,
you want to talk
but
about
you could wear pajama pants instead, and pajama pants that don't look like pajama pants that look like nicer trousers.
But yeah, it's okay. So they're versatile, they're comfy, they're stylish.
Yeah, and we have everything from the 18th century banyan pattern that comes with a cap pattern.
Yeah.
That you can embroider if you like.
Plenty of those too. The men's, the extreme patterns, men's
extreme patterns, men's caps, the nightcaps, men's nightcaps are the same shape as the cap that's in the banyan pattern.
But they come with embroidery.
They come with embroidery designs, Elizabethan and Jacobean embroidery designs.
And they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Thank you, Laura.
Yeah, because the same.
Hope you're feeling better.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Laura. The caps are. The cap is a cap. It's not the cap is a cap. It's a cap. It's just this cap kept getting reinvented.
So we've got stuff for men.
Yep, we have the
stuff for
smoking
women.
jacket.
The smoking jacket. The
922, 926, the dressing gown. 816 is the banyan and cap. We have
for women.
We have an Edwardian wrapper, which is 1094.
Yeah, gee.
Which is a lovely, lovely wrapper. That, I mean, if you look at it, you'll go, this is a wrapper. It looks like a dress, because there's a lot of style to it, and yet you just throw it on. Also, the Regency Pellies.
Yeah.
Regency Pellies, which is 841, is essentially a wrapper. Is just, you put it on, and there's one button just under the bust. It's not buttons all down the front. You could wear that, you could wear that over your pajamas. You could wear it over your nightshirt and just do that button and the whole front closes. It's
We've got about 6 different lounging pajama.
Yeah, we have a bunch of lounging pajama from the 30s and 40s that are, I mean, one of my favorite patterns is 1425.
Oh,
which
yeah.
Is that real 1940. I mean, it's so 1940s. If you didn't look it up, you would know exactly that it was 1940s style, because
yeah, and if you make
so 40s.
You make that and, do up your hair in some victory rolls for your Wednesday Zoom meeting with your work
Absolutely
group, your office work group meeting remotely.
Absolutely.
Everybody's gonna love you.
Yeah, and there are some of our pajama patterns, I mean, the ones that have like pullover tops and stuff, you could even wear as sleep pajamas.
Yeah.
Put an elastic waist or a drawstring waist in them instead of a zipper. And you pull it over, and it's perfectly comfortable. Another thing you can do is something that I've done is I'm really, really anti. I'm not anti-Lycra. I do like Lycra, but I am anti neon workout gear and that kind of stuff. And you could wear your lounging pajamas to yoga class.
Yeah.
There is absolutely no reason. I mean, you can move in them. You can work out in them. You can wear them anywhere you like. But I do yoga in my lounging pajamas.
Yeah.
And
there's a hovering hawk.
Oh yeah, see her.
We're driving through the countryside.
Hunting in a field, looking for breakfast or lunch.
Yeah, it's lunchtime now.
Yeah, so lounging pajamas and the hostess dress and the house coats are stunning. I mean, when you say house coat to me, I think old lady thing. These aren't old lady things. These are gorgeous. And the 1950s, I think it's 1523. It's double-breasted. It has a big collar. It has a tiny, tiny waist and lots of pleats in the skirt. It's a new look hostess dress.
Wow.
And it's gorgeous. And I mean, if you wanted to make it into a dress that you could wear out, all you'd have to do is cut the skirt shorter.
Yeah.
But it's just beautiful and elegant, and right now we all need a little bit of something. A
little bit of oomph.
A little bit of oomph in our lives. So why sit around the house wearing sweats when you could wear this gorgeous hostess dress? And you can make it out of whatever you like.
Yeah.
You make it out of whatever fabric makes you happy, and feel good. I mean, one of the things about dressing that are those little apartments.
Yeah.
What on earth?
That's cool as hell.
Yeah, they're little things. They look like
studio apartments.
Yeah, they look like half a shipping container. But they have big windows on one side, and they're little.
They're little apartments.
I wonder what they're for.
People are clearly living in there. Yeah. There's bicycles and scooters.
Where are we?
Coming back into Valdova.
Oh, we're outside Valdova.
Yeah.
Valdova, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Sorry, we're getting distracted by architecture.
There's such cool architecture here. I love it. Yeah, so I mean, it makes you feel good to dress up, and you don't have to. I mean, I'm a lazy slob. I really am a lazy slob, and I don't I don't want to dress up and then sit around the house. And
you kind of go, what's the point?
Yeah, and you get dog hair on you and all kinds of stuff. I've always got dog hair on me. But,
there's no escaping the dog hair.
There's no escaping the dog hair. But if you're wearing lounging pajamas or, a house dress, you can feel very, very dressed up.
Yeah.
And yet still be comfortable and, not feel like you have to sit with a stick up your butt.
Yeah, exactly.
Just so that your clothes don't wrinkle or so you don't slouch or anything like that. And it look nice on a Zoom call.
Yeah.
Or hell with a Zoom call. Hell with whatever anybody else thinks about you. You want to feel good because you haven't been out of the house for 2 weeks because you're in lockdown? Make yourself a hostess dress and just...
And be fabulous.
Enjoy yourself. Enjoy dressing. And casual doesn't mean sloppy.
Brilliant.
So
that's hashtag casual does not mean sloppy.
So if you go to our website,
there'll be links for all this stuff in the show notes.
There will be links in the show notes. If you go to our website and you click on the tag for No Sweats, you will come up with all the things we've been talking about.
And you will look fabulous.
Yeah. Also, I think I have a category called loungewear or something like that.
I'm pretty sure you do. And if we don't, we'll go home and make it right now.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there, and if you buy a download, you could have it today.
Yeah. Use some of your stash, because God knows if you sew, you've got a stash.
Yep. And we have new lounging outfit patterns coming out. I'm working on a handful of new ones right now. So if you're looking at our website, you'll probably see some brand new ones. They'll be in the new section, new releases section on the front page of our website. And enjoy them. I wear them all the time, and I recommend them to you.
And they really do look good. You're going to love it, folks.
Yep. So that's all from us today. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us for a while and enjoying the nice Dutch sunshine. We will talk to you.
Please like, subscribe, and comment.
Yeah, let us know what you like. If you're watching this on YouTube, give us a comment. Drop us a line at info@reconstructinghistory.com. If you have commentary or complaints, now don't write me. Don't write.
Don't complain. No, you can complain. If you have a complaint, come on. And also share the link around if you know anyone who you think would like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Share it about.
We love you guys.
Love you guys.
And we will talk to you again very soon.
Bye.